Hi fam, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for clicking. So in today's tutorial, we are going to be cutting a male's trouser. Let's get straight to it. So the measurement we are using, we have the waist to be 35 inches, the hip is 44 inches, the thigh or the lap is 26 inches, the bust is 14 inches, and then the trouser length is 40 inches. Now these are the materials I'll be using for this tutorial. This is about 2 yards, and then I have my measuring tape, a pair of scissors, and then a pencil because of the white fabric. Now I folded the front part of the trouser. Now before I did that, I divided the thigh or the lap circumference by 2. So that is 26 by 2. It gives me 13 inches. So that is how I folded it. That's for the front part of the trouser. Now let's get to the length. The length of the trouser is 40 inches. Now this 40 inches, I'm going to subtract 1 inch from the 40 inches because we're adding a waistband of 1.5 inch long to the trouser. So I subtracted 1 inch from it, making 39. I'm going to add additional 2 inches, making 41. I hope you understand this. Additional 2 inches to the 39 that we have now, making it 41 for the length of the trouser. Alright, so that's what I'm going to be marking. The 2 inches is going to be for the folding of the hem of the trouser or the down part of the trouser. Okay, so I'm going to mark the 41 inches now. Before now, I just trimmed off the self edge of the material. I just trimmed off the self edge, which is the rough part of the edge of the fabric. Okay, so I went ahead to mark the 41 inches. I'll use my straight ruler. Sorry, I'll use my ruler to straight these lines up. Okay, so that is the waistline. This is the waistline. Now I'm going to go down to the crotch depth of the trouser. To the crotch depth. Now to achieve that, I divided the hip measurement by 4. So that 44 by 4, I had 11. So that's what I'm marking now. Now go ahead and then straighten the lines up. Okay. Now, from the waistline, I'm going to go down to the hip line, which is 9 inches. That is, if you measure to the hip bone, you should get 9 inches. Then I'll go ahead and then straight that up as well. Okay, so we have our waist, the hip, and then the crotch depth. Alright, now I'm just going to mark out the full length, which is 39 now. 39. I'm going to mark that from the waist to the length of the trouser, which is 39 for now, because we'll be adding additional 1.5 inch waistband to it. Then I'll go ahead and then straighten the line up. So we have our waist, hip, crotch depth, and then the hem of the trouser. Okay, now I'm going to go in from the crotch depth 2 inches like this, and then on the hip line 2 inches, then on the waistline as well 2 inches. I'm going to use this for the crotch extension on the crotch depth line. Now I'm going to go up a little bit in between the crotch depth line and then the hip line, then give it a curve. You can use your curve ruler or you can use your free hand to just give it a curve, as you can see me doing. Okay, so after I've achieved this, I'm going to go to the bust. The bust is the hem of the trouser. Then the circumference, the bust circumference, that is around your ankle. It is 14 here, so that divided by 2 gives me 7 plus 1 inch seam allowance, making 8. Now after marking that, I'm going to go ahead and then connect the points on the crotch extension to join that of the hem or the bust line that we just marked. Okay, Now try and use a straight ruler to avoid all the struggles that I'm going through right now. I I've broken my, so I'm just managing with this one. I'll get one very soon. Now on the very hem of the trouser, I went in half inch, then I slanted it at the hem of the trouser. Okay. Now let's go to the waistline. On the waistline, we are going to make adjustments. That is the waistline divided by 4 plus 1 is seam allowance. So that's what I just marked. Then I'm going to connect it to the hip line, as you can see me doing. So basically that's it for the front part of the trouser. Then I'm going to go ahead and then cut this out. I'm starting from the crotch extension. So guys, basically that's it for the front part of the trouser. Now please, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, kindly hit the subscribe button and then click on the notification bell so when I upload a new video you'll be the first to be notified. Kindly share this video and leave a comment or leave a heart in the comment section if you enjoyed watching this tutorial. So we are done with the front part of the trouser. I went ahead to fold the back piece, the back part of the trouser as well. I went ahead to fold this, and to determine the back part of the trouser, we'll be focusing on the crotch extension that differentiates the front and the back parts of the trouser. So as you can see, I've placed the front part of the trouser or the front pieces on the folded fabric. I've I've placed the front part of the trouser or the front pieces on the folded fabric to be able to cut the back piece of the trouser. Now to cut the back pieces of the trouser, I'm just going to extend from the front pieces of the trouser 3 inches on the crotch line. I'm going to extend it 3 inches. So I'm going to mark from the crotch extension like this, from the front pieces of the trouser. I'm going to mark 3 inches. Now you can make it 2.5 inches, 2 inches, depending on your client's body size. Yeah. So I'm using 3 inches for this. I will extend it by 3 inches. Okay. Now, after that, I'm going to come to the crotch line like this. Then I'm going to be coming out from this 2 inches. 2 inches. Then I'm going to extend the waistline as well like this for the back piece. 2 inches. Now, after marking these 2 inches, I'm just going to give this a curve at where the curve is at the crotch extension to meet the new extended crotch extension for the back pieces. Then I'm going to connect the 2 inches gap. Now this 2 inches gap that we're given will become the seam allowance for the trouser. Now for the down part of the trouser, I'm going to come out 1.5 inches. I'm going to come out 1.5 inches. So this is also going to be seam allowance as well. So basically the back parts of or the back pieces of the trouser is bigger than the front pieces. So now I'm going to connect from the crotch extension downward like this to meet the 1.5 allowances that I left at the back pieces of the trouser, as you can see me doing. And then at the hem of the trouser, I'll just slant it just as I did for the front piece. Make sure when you are curving it from the crotch extension downward, make sure you give it a curve. Don't make it straight. Alright, now on the waistline, I'm going to go up 2 inches like this. I'm going to extend the line of the waistline for the back piece 2 inches. Then I'm going to connect it to the waistline, as you can see me doing. This extends the crotch line or the crotch at the back piece to avoid the shortness at the crotch line and making the crotch fitted for your client. I hope I'm just making sense here. Now after this, I'm just going to cut this out because we are done with the back piece. So you can see the back piece is just an adjustment to the front pieces of the trouser. All right, let's go ahead and cut this out. Okay guys, so that is it for the back pieces. So I'm going to put this aside and then cut the flap for the trouser. Okay, so these are going to be for the flaps. All right, so the knife shaped like flap, the knife like shaped flap that we normally give it a shape at the front parts of the trouser for the males. I'm going to make it 7.5 inches long. I'm making it 7.5 inches long like this. So I use the pieces on the trouser when we were cutting the cross extension to make this. So that is it. I'll just be using one of it. I'll just be using just one of it. Now we are using two flaps. I have another one which is rectangular shaped and it is on fold 2 inches and the length is also 7.5. So that is it for the flap. Now this is our waistband. Waistband is 2 inches. Remember we'll be joining the waist with half inch, so it will later become 1.5 inches long for the waistband. Okay, now the length you measure, you use your waist circumference and then you add at least 5 for the
inches or
joining of
4
the
inches
waistband. Now we have our pockets as well. So this is going to be for the pockets, as you can see. So this is like this unfold like this. It is 6.5 inches for the width and then the length is 13 inches. 6.5 inches for the width and then the length is um 13 inches. I'm just going to give it a shape. I went up 2 inches. Then you can use your free hand to give this a curve. I tried using the armhole curve but I didn't like the result, so I had to use my free hand to give this a curve at the hem. So like I said, I didn't like the results the armhole curve gave me, so I'm just using my free hand to give it a curve, as you can see me doing. I'm sorry the pencil couldn't help much with the illustration, but I'm just hoping you'll be able to understand what I'm doing. Okay, so I'll use the first piece that I cut for the pocket to cut the second piece. So that is it. This is how it came out. Please turn on the notification bell to be alerted when I put out the sewing tutorial of this video. Keep being amazing wherever you are. See you on my next upload. Love you. Bye.